Hi, my name is Sammy. I am part of the Pathway team here at United Against Human Trafficking. And the purpose of this video today is to give you a brief demo of Pathway and also explain a bit of what it is and how it can serve your organization. So Pathway was birthed out of the need to quickly connect survivors of human trafficking to the resources that they needed. We identified that we have a lot of really great partners in the movement, but there can be a disconnect and sometimes challenges in simply having a warm handoff and a clear, quick way to get our clients the services that they need. So Pathway is bringing on board our partners and creating that warm referral, that warm handoff referral network. So what you're looking at right now is our main page, and our partners can be a part of Pathway in two different capacities. The first would be simply to make a referral and connect a client, a survivor or victim of trafficking, to a service provider. This is most often appropriate for organizations or agencies that are coming in contact with people that would be making a disclosure but don't themselves offer services. And then the other option would be for our partners to not only send referrals but to receive referrals. To go ahead and continue with that process, it is more formal, and we would have a longer conversation with you to map out the resources that you would be offering and to go through a more formal vetting process. If all you were planning to do would be to refer patients in, then that just would have you signing a membership agreement, and we would be able to issue the logins necessary for you to come into Pathway and create that referral as you are coming across victims and survivors of trafficking. So first of all, I will state that Pathway is operating under the assumption that you as case manager, advocate, client-facing staff in your organization are representing a survivor. In the future, we will have a portal that is client-facing itself, but right now everything operates privately on this page through those unique logins that I mentioned, and you are working alongside or on behalf of your client. So if you're creating a referral, it's a fairly simple process. First, it is going to prompt you for a survivor's phone number. And we recognize that it's not always appropriate to use the survivor's phone number. One, if they don't have one, or two, if they would not answer their phone, or if they're uncomfortable sharing it. Whatever the case may be, if you as case manager would like to put your own phone number, it is possible to continue with that. So we will do a test client here. And it was members from our coalition that met and determined that these were the areas that would be most helpful and the only information that's really necessary to create a referral that would give us an accurate match. So you are able to move to the next page without filling out all of these fields, particularly if it's triggering to your client. But best case scenario, if you're able to fill it all out, we are asking for first two initials of first and last name, last two digits of a birth year, gender, age range, housing type, whether it's permanent, temporary, or even if they are actively fleeing a domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking situation. And if that is the case, we are still looking for a zip code down here, whatever most accurately matches. Right now we are in Houston primarily, but actively expanding to other places throughout Texas, other places in the nation. And so as we do that, this zip code will become more important so that we can accurately match your client to the services that they need in the correct area. Citizenship status. Survivor type, we offer services for both labor and sex trafficked victims. Language, and whatever phone number we put on that first page is what we're going to go ahead and do again. Here it is just confirming that I do have consent from the survivor to connect them to resources in Pathway. Now what has opened up for me are service categories, and what we're seeing is only what is currently available and organizations that currently have capacity to take our clients. Under each one of these will open up the resources specific to them. For example, if I were to go with care management, it's going to open up for me all the different resources here, and case management may be what we're looking for in this case. Once I've done that, again, we're seeing only what's currently available, and we can now make a decision and as case managers have control of who we feel is going to be most appropriate to send our client to. We have just a brief description of who they are, what they offer, as well as the clientele that they're serving. So all of that should match everything we put in on the front end. The other thing that you're seeing is that they are trauma informed. So currently all of our partners have this same badge, and that's ensuring that they have gone through that process that I mentioned earlier of going through vetting and us ensuring that standards of care, all of their practices match and meet the standards that we are requiring. In the future, we will also be onboarding organizations that maybe are not at this same level, but there would be another badge to indicate that they're at a different tier. I will go ahead and send a test client through, and I'll send that to us here at United Against Human Trafficking. We'll opt for an out-of-state transport. And the only other thing then before we finish the referral is to add any notes about the client that may be pertinent for the case manager that would be receiving this referral. It's not necessary, but if there's something that you would like them to know right off the bat, then you can go ahead and put that information here. Pathway is not a place to house any type of case notes or personal information about the client. We are conscious of sharing data. We follow HIPAA guidelines. So we encourage all of those conversations to happen outside of Pathway, case manager to case manager. But again, anything pertinent about the client, you can add here. And then would you, as case manager, like to receive updates about the referral? Once I send this off, it is complete. And whoever we sent it out to will receive an email, and that email will prompt them to respond and reach out to our client within 72 hours. From the other side of things, I'll show you what that looks like. So it will go to their queue. So let's assume that in this case, we are the ones that have just received this referral. We got a notification in our email, and we will also be launching a text message system shortly. So there will be a text message notification for a more prompt alert, which is especially helpful as we move further into the advocacy space where a 60 to 90 minutes response time is ideal. So we're going to see our referral here. And it functions as a drag and drop system. So we can go ahead and move that card over once there's a contact in progress. Move them over again once we've spoken to them on the phone. And then once we've closed out the referral. So Pathway is simply that connecting point from one case manager or client-facing staff to another staff member at a different organization representing a service needed. Once that contact is made, or if the client is denied whatever reason for a closed referral, that client's time in Pathway is complete. So we can also access this information in this change of status by opening up the card. If we wanted to change the status, we could go ahead and do that here. When I close out a referral, it prompts me to answer the reason that it was closed. So you'll see approved, will receive services, that's best case scenario, but perhaps the client is in fact not eligible. We were never able to reach the client. They denied services, or we don't have capacity for them at the moment. whatever the reason, we'll go ahead and save that. So a couple other things that you're seeing here. First, the only information in this contact card is what was put in on the front end by whoever referred us this client. And then the contact information of the case manager. So again, if I need to reach out, get some more information about this client or the case altogether, then I can contact them directly outside of Pathway. Otherwise, we're having case history here, which is documenting any of the activity that was done here. So if your agency or organization has one login because there's only one client-facing staff, then it would just be them. We do not allow multiple people to log into the same account. So for every client-facing staff that would be utilizing Pathway, they would have their own login information. And then as they do that, you're able to see from your organization who is logging in and managing these different steps within the process. There's also an area for case comments. All of this is only seen by the people in your organization that have those logins, not even the case manager that referred them over to you. So this is unique to you. And lastly, a couple of other things. We have a partner directory in which you're able to see on the front end without creating a referral the different organizations that are in Pathway, all of our partners here. And if you open up all of those cards, you can see the different services that they offer, have direct contact information for them. We'll also be adding an area of resources. So maybe it is clothing or contacts for food. We're having conversations about economic empowerment resources, things that in the future you'll also be able to add and look into as potentials for your client. That is the general info about Pathway. I'm happy to share more, so please feel free to contact me directly at my email address, which we will link. And if you have questions, need clarification, or are ready to start the process, I can have that conversation with you. You can also visit our website where you can sign off on the membership agreement to go ahead and get started, whether you are looking to get into Pathway simply to create referrals or to also be able to receive them. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to y'all soon.